Human capital theory has become a major theoretical construct for understanding a country or community's profound socio-economic changes and for strategizing how to spur creation of wealth. Basically, human capital theory is the totality of investments made in humans so that those humans are better at producing other things. Those investments might include education, skills, talents, and experiences that make the individual more productive and more skilled. Ultimately, higher worker productivity then leads to higher individual value and more lucrative labor markets. Classical human capital theory assumes that education is a form of human capital, meaning that those who invest in their education are strategically calculating to increase their capital, which will in turn lead to higher income.
So first of all, you can't drop out. You can't even think about dropping out. Can't even think about dropping out. But it's not going to be enough just to graduate from high school. You're going to need some additional education. And a good education equals a good job.
Based on government numbers, roughly half of all college graduates are either jobless or underemployed. And it gets worse. The mountain of student loan debt now topping $1 trillion. And interest rates on those loans are set to double on July 1st. Lawmakers in Washington are scrambling right now to extend those lower rates. But is that enough? Well, let's ask a couple of recent college grads, Salvatore Lamastra and Hadley Heath.
Or something else where there are no jobs available right now. It's a huge factor for them, and those loans are just sitting there adding on debt. And without jobs to pay it back, they're not going to care what the interest rates are if they can't pay it back, period.
Hadley, I'll let you follow up to that and give me a sense of how tough it really is out there. We know the situation overall is tough with over 8% unemployment in the country, but what are the specific challenges for recent grads?
Absolutely. Well, they're at the bottom of the experience totem pole. Certainly, they're coming into a jobs market that's already suffering. There are many discouraged workers out there. So the national unemployment rate doesn't fully capture the entire picture. And young people who are just graduating, as you mentioned earlier, 1 out of 2, even with a college degree, are jobless or underemployed. Many people working in jobs, waiting tables when they have a college degree. And this is going to have long-term consequences for them. It's going to affect their long-term earning power. It's going to affect their family formation, their ability to move out of mom and dad's basement.
Cultural capital is a theory developed by French theorist Pierre Bourdieu and is the cultural knowledge that serves as currency that helps us navigate culture and alters our experiences and the opportunities available to us. According to Bourdieu, cultural capital can be a source of social inequality too. It is hard for those who are poor or who are part of the working class to gain the types of cultural capital that are valued in society. For example, having an education and earning a degree is a very important piece of cultural capital. Let's say a student in poverty has difficulty finding time to study because he works evenings to help support his low-income family. This leads to poor performance due to his lack of studying, which results in lower test scores and then being placed in lower ability classes, which in turn affects his GPA and what college he is able to get into, if he goes to college at all. In the United States, if you are in a lower social class, such as the student in our example, you tend to have less cultural capital.
Children that are very young, age 0 to 3, that experience adverse events like child abuse and neglect. The development of the parts of their brain that deal with executive function, decision-making, focus, attention, don't develop as fully as it would in a child that's in a nurturing environment because they just don't make those connections.
If we all can have a unified message about how important the early years are, how critical parents' roles are, and very simple things that we can do on a day-to-day basis to build those connections with our children, it really will provide a solid foundation to last a lifetime.
The investment in our children, particularly from birth to kindergarten, is probably the single most important investment we can make at this point.